It's time for Swinging Blindly, the show where PJ and Blaze make their bold baseball predictions. Once in a while, they'll hit a home run. Sometimes they'll hit a grounder or fly ball somewhere, but most of the time, they're gonna swing and miss.
Strike three, you're out.
Here he is, stepping into the batter's box, the man with the plan, who roots for a team with a late legend named Stan. It's not unusual for him to lead off, PJ Geary.
We may not always be right with our takes, but it doesn't matter. We'll say them anyway, because it's root for PJ and Blaze. If they swing and miss, it's okay. For it's PJ and Blaze talking baseball with you on the Swinging Blindly podcast. Gentlemen, hello, and hello. We are back here on a Swinging Blindly podcast with PJ and Blaze, joined by a very special guest here today. First time in a long time that we've done something like that, if not ever.
This is the first time we've ever had a guest on.
First time we've ever had a guest on, so it's very, very special. So I'll add the two very, very, very special guests.
Absolutely. And
that,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, and then I'm going to welcome in this a specific way.
Let's go. So without further ado, we welcome on my very good friend. It is fellow Yankee fan, so him and Blaze have that in common to talk some Yankee baseball today. It is Brett Monroe.
Well, thank you for that round of applause, gentlemen. It's good to be here. I had no idea that I'm the first guest in the show's history, so it's up to me to set the bar. So this is exciting. I have no expectations to live up to, so I set the expectation.
Yeah, and here's the reality. If you suck, you're going to be the last. So, no, I'm kidding.
Ooh, no, there's pressure.
We're just...
The crushing pressure.
Yeah, hey, we're just BSing in the bullpen at this point, bro. It's good to meet you and good to have you on the show here.
Yes, thank you guys so much for inviting me. PJ had proposed it to me a few weeks ago, and now we finally get to make it work. And I just appreciate the offer to even come on the show in the first place. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I have another Yankee fan here with me to have a little bit of a buffer from all this Cardinal nonsense,
Oh, what? Well, before we get going, I have two things. First, I need to know, that, spoken word, that was a great little intro, right? Please, Brett, you should say that since you're a guest.
Yeah, great intro, of course.
Thank you. Okay,
yes, absolutely.
I can verify that it was a hell of a lot better than the singing that, thankfully, only I got to hear.
I did do a singing version off recording to test it out. And maybe I'll record that myself and I'll send it to you guys.
Save your singing telegram business for another 30 years. It's a little bit more developed.
Telegrams will come back, yeah.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. Hey, cassettes are coming back. Vinyl's back. Hell, the singing telegrams will be coming back eventually.
100%. That'll be...
You should just create a cameo, and that's your whole thing, is you send people singing telegrams.
Also not a bad idea.
Yeah. As we are...
Niche.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have a lot to get into, and we are here via the Pacifica Radio Network of low-power FM stations, as well as wherever you get your podcasts, Facebook.com/Swinging Blindly Podcast, on Twitter @Swinging Blindly. So there's plenty to be swinging blindly about as we are about 2.5 weeks into the season. As the Yankees, look, they are swinging blindly. They might get the Swinging Blindly award. Wouldn't you say there, Brett?
Yeah, it's been rough. Granted, it is only April, so I'm not trying to, I'm not a doomsday Yankee fan that thinks that this is, what their entire season is going to look like. But to start the first 15 games of the year, it's not what you want, as former Yankee manager Joe Girardi would say.
No, no, definitely not. I mean, look, we've had slow starts in our history. We tend to be relatively perennial slow starters. I mean, you look at the 98 Yankees who went on to win the World Series. Weren't they something to the effect of 4-9, and then they had the team meeting, and, well, let's just say the rest is history.
Yeah, they had the slow start in 98. Like you said, 4-9, something like that. But then they went on to win like 22 of the next 23 games.
Right.
I don't see the 2021 Yankees accomplishing that same feat.
I don't know if we'll ever see a team. That's another discussion for another day. But I don't know if we'll ever see another team win 20 games in a row.
They
like
just don't have the rotation to do it. The Yankees specifically this year. I mean, Garrett Cole, arguably second best pitcher in baseball. And then after that, it's just a bunch of question marks. I'm hoping as a Yankee fan that when Severino comes back, he comes back, in his 2018, 2019 form of, potential Cy Young if everything is clicking, because they desperately need someone to back up Garrett Cole.
So what I would want to do here, guys, before I'm loving hearing the Yankee banter. Trust me, but I think that people will too. So how about I will now become sort of the moderator between the two of you discussing Yankee baseball, and we'll start with this happened earlier today. Was the announcement of the Jay Bruce retirement. Thoughts, I guess, on the Jay Bruce experiments, and I guess we'll kind of let that bleed into more Yankee talk. Just thoughts on Jay Bruce.
I had an odd feeling that something was going to happen. Not that necessarily he was going to retire, but I had an odd feeling something was going to happen when the Yankees picked up Rugi Odor from the Texas Rangers, and because they released him. And if you're released from the Texas Rangers, and he was a part of that franchise for a while.
Yeah.
But when they picked him up, knowing that he's a second baseman and a pretty good one, aside from what we've seen this weekend with him throwing the ball all over the place, making me as a blind man look really good with the arm. What is it? But the simple reality is, where was that going to leave Jay Bruce? Was he as good of a defensive first baseman as DJ LeMahieu? No. Oddly enough, neither one of them, it was their natural position, yet both still better than cold hand Luke Voigt, because that's terrible first baseman. I just thought of that off the top of my head. So I just had that feeling something was going to happen. What about you, Brett?
Yeah, it's safe to say that the Jay Bruce experiment it was a failure. It was a complete failure. If Voigt didn't get hurt, Jay Bruce wouldn't even be on the team. They would have cut him in spring training. In fact, from what I've heard, they did cut him, found out about Voigt's injury, and then called him back. And they're like, no, we could actually use you. I think sliding DJ LeMahieu over to first base is the best bet. Voigt might not be the best defensive first baseman in the world, but he can mash. Jay Bruce was the opposite. He was not hitting, and he's not good defensively, so there's no real point in him being there, and makes you wonder why Mike Ford is still at the alternate site, because the Yankees over the past 2 years have shown that they like Mike Ford. So it's kind of strange that they weren't using him. They could have brought Mike Ford up, kept LeMahieu at second base, and at least given that a shot. And, for all the talk that the Yankees do about not caring about handedness of batter, they certainly seem to care a little bit, or else they wouldn't have made a trade for lefty swinging Rougned Odor. But, Mike Ford is a lefty too. So everything's a little bit weird and odd. And I don't understand some of the moves. And I think they honestly, I think the Jay Bruce experiment went on too long. So I'm glad that they're finally moving away from it.
I was critical of it from the outset. I mean,
yeah,
you look at the whole composition, and you brought up the point of how the Yankees say they don't care about handedness of bat. Well, they put themselves in the position to care because of how right-handed dominant they have made themselves, to the point where they have been able to make themselves a very predictable team to pitch against.
Yeah, and it's all that they bat so similar. as well, where
Well,
it's
that's
all launch angle and swinging for the fences, and it's sometimes it looks like a lineup that's all just trying to do the same thing instead of doing perhaps what they would be best at or what they need in the moment. It's just let's go up there and mash, and when it doesn't work, it's an ugly brand of baseball to watch.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, even PJ eventually would be able to figure those guys out if he ran them, right?
I appreciate that sentiment, Blaze.
Being-
no, goodbye, Jay Bruce. We're past that. So now I just kind of wanted to ask maybe questions that are floating around the Yankee universe and just in general to you guys about just your thoughts on the Yankees. We'll get you both your answers in the banter between, if that's okay with you, both of you. Well, my first question would be, I think it's a two-parter. So I believe the first answer is it's already been discussed a little bit. What is the biggest issue that the Yankees have faced in the first 15 games, 14 with 15 going on right now? And what do you guys see is the long-term and short-term fix of said issue? Brett, since you're the guest, we'll let you go first.
Biggest issue, I think right now, the defense is just really bad. When the bats are cold like they are, you can still steal a few games by playing some tight defense, and the Yankees aren't getting that at all. Just throwing errors or just generally bad play all over the diamond, and it's starting to look pretty ugly. And when you have Cole, who can deal and keeps a lot of runners off base with strikeouts. If you're not getting that from the other pitchers and the defense needs to step up, well, it certainly hasn't. And, I don't want to blame Jay Bruce for all of that either, but, he wasn't helping at first base, and Torres continues to look like he's not fully ready to be a starting shortstop each day. It's, there's been some comparison, obvious comparison to Jeter, who Jeter wasn't the best defensive shortstop in the world, but made a lot of plays on the balls that were hit to him. And Torres hasn't even really been capable of doing that. So yeah, I'd say the defense, and come playoffs, if you're not a sound defensive team, you're not making it all the way to the World Series, and you're certainly not winning it.
Yeah, I have a slightly different take on part one of the question. To me, it is the traffic. It is the men left on base. The Yankees lead the league in double plays hit into. How can you score runs? How can you alleviate the pressure on the rotation if you're not scoring runs because you're leaving men on base? I mean, they're clogging up the base paths with people on them like New York City traffic itself. To me, that is the largest issue. And to Brett's point, I think the offense has to create the defense, because this is not a great defensive team, because you have so many people playing out of their natural positions. I think we've learned that Gleyber Torres is a second baseman in the major leagues, despite being a shortstop in the minors. I think we figured that out. And you have so many designated hitters on this team who are not meant to put a glove on.
Oh, wow. That's actually a pretty good point that I didn't even think about, is just how inept the defense is at times on the Yankees.
It's prolific.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, and I guess I say at times because I think Gary has looked a little bit better back there as of late. Has he not?
Gary's looked better. Urshela is a star at third base. And for all the flack that he gets, I think Aaron Hicks is a good center fielder.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like, when he hits third in the lineup, and I get that, but I guess that's a different question. But other than that, I mean, and Judge, if he can stay healthy, he is a good right fielder. He is still a plus defender. It's just the other spots in the diamond are not looking very good. And then there's this whole, Gardner taking away playing time from Frazier. The Yankees have a list of issues to work through, 15 games into 162. I'm not going to panic, but they got to start figuring it out. And if they don't have it together by the end of May, then you could dig a hole that you might not be able to get out of, even with good play later on.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, this team is good enough to clog or get out of that hole. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, this team is capable of doing really good things. I mean, Memorial Day is usually the first benchmark that we all, as baseball fans, like to use to measure how well a team is doing and what the rest of the season is going to look like for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, LeMahieu, he's obviously been doing his part. I mean, the play that Aaron Hicks made in the game against Tampa Bay, was it the Sunday game, knowing that this is going to be, that we're taping this just a couple of hours after that play happened.
Oh.
But that play saved a run on a liner to right where Judge made a diving catch to the glove side. Otherwise, that ball drops. That's
who knows. Yeah. No, this is just fascinating to me as somebody who doesn't cover the Yankees who doesn't follow the Yankees as much. I mean, cover the Yankees. Yeah, get out of here. Maybe if you guys can elaborate. So, what would be a short-term fix that you guys could see happening, and then what is the most pressing long-term issue on the Yankees for a 162 game season? Because I think we've touched more on what has happened over the first 2 weeks of the season. So I do want to know what you guys think about that. But then from what you've seen, extrapolating that from what you've seen so far, what is the pressing long-term issue and how do you fix that?
Short term, I think they need to just get back to basics. I think Tyler Wade, while not a great hitter, is good defensively and would provide maybe a little bit of just a change about how the Yankees try and do things. They might be able to create more run opportunities with some better base running, some better defense. I think it could just change their flavor. Now, long term, I think the bats wake up. It's too long of a season for the bats not to wake up, and I think you'll see, hopefully soon, like a 2-week stretch or more where they are just mashing instead of seemingly everyone being slumping at the same time. But long term, the bats are not the issue. The rotation to me is still the issue. We don't know how Kluber is going to hold up. We don't know how Tyone is going to hold up. We don't know what Luis Severino is going to look like when he gets back. Domingo Germán looked good in spring and then has already been sent to the alternate site and has missed a start in the major leagues. So I don't know how you fix over the rotation overnight. What was that, Blaze?
I was saying Jordan Montgomery looked good over the weekend.
Yeah, so you have Cole, who is a stud, and you have Montgomery, who's looked pretty good. But that's still only 2 out of 5, and there's a lot of season left to play. And between Germán, Kluber, and Tyone, they only pitched 1 inning last year. So you have 3 guys who have not really pitched for an extended period of time in a long time. And you're kind of counting on those guys to get you wins or at least solid starts, quality starts, as they like to say in the game. And I don't know. I don't know if the Yankees will be able to hold up over the course of the season. And if they have to tax the bullpen throughout the regular season, I mean, what are you going to get out of them come the playoffs?
Yeah, I couldn't really agree with you more. It's just one of those things. And I'm not as worried about Kluber because he's gotten off to slow starts in his career before. And what has he done? Tyone, I'm not as worried about Kluber and Tyone. I just think it's one of those things where they right now are trying to get back into the groove. And
yeah,
for them, this is for them. I would say that April is kind of a little bit of spring training 2.0 for them, in that this is where they are going to be facing the caliber of hitters that they're going to be facing, not necessarily trying to sit here and besmirch those hitters in spring training, but it's mostly minor league hitting that they're facing, where maybe everyone tends to look better in the spring because of that. So I'm not as worried. If this is going on here a month from now, then I'll have a different tune and I'll be singing it. Unlike PJ's intro, which was just, I'm glad no one else had to hear that thing.
I was going to say, well, nobody heard. Well, I mean, there could be people out there who would have loved it and said that I was.
Another issue too.
Yeah.
As this weekend series against the Rays is about to wrap up, Yankees need to start playing better within their own division.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you cannot keep dropping series to divisional opponents, the teams that you are going to have to chase. It's like when you lose a game in the division, it's not just a 1-game swing. You know, it's effectively almost like a 2-game swing. You know, the people that you are going to have to chase have a win, and now you have a loss. And, you know, it's harder to make up those games.
Well, you can't drop 7 series in a row to Tampa. You can't keep dropping 2 of 3 to Toronto. I mean, look, they haven't played Baltimore or Boston yet. I mean, Boston looks right now like they are proving all of us wrong. I think they're going to come back down to reality at some point, but when will that point be? Who knows? And hopefully right now the Yankees are going to end up proving us wrong. I mean, right now you'd have to look at the league as a whole and say that the Yankees and the Red Sox are the biggest surprises in the most positive and most negative way.
Yeah, no, I think we definitely will talk more about that, but it's I mean, it's early. And I think, Blaze, both of you have touched on the fact that it is early. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but it's a small sample size, and like you said, there's teams that we expect the water to reach its level type deal. So I think we'll have to keep going forward. I mean, I guess my last question for both of you would be, and I know one of them is the easier answer, but I think the one side could be something to be thought about. Who is the most important pitcher and most important position player? I'm not just going to say hitter. Most important pitcher and most important position player for the next, let's just say not even the rest of the year, for the next 2 months. Who needs to be on for this team to go? Who needs to be the cog, the straw that stirs the drink, to make it a little easier analogy? Who needs to be that on both sides of the ball? Brett?
So the pitcher is the easy one. That's Cole.
Yes, I knew that one.
Yeah, if Cole is not on, this team has nothing. Chance. Yeah. He is the stopper. If they are skidding, they expect him to come in every 5 days and at least right the ship for his starts. For hitters, that is the more interesting question. I'm not really sure who is the best answer. So I guess the guy that, he sits at the top of the lineup, not leadoff, but bats number 2 most days. Yes. Number 99, Aaron Judge, I think needs to start contributing more. If Aaron Judge is on, I think the lineup will become a lot more dangerous, so to speak. Because I do expect LeMahieu, he is La Machine. I do expect that he'll figure it out after his slow start, but I think the Yankees really need just a strong year out of Judge overall. And we're not just talking hitting; we're talking just overall availability. If the Yankees are going to win a lot of games this year, Judge needs to play in probably 140 of them. If you're gonna get another DL season out of, or IL, excuse me, if you're gonna get another IL season out of Aaron Judge, this year's going to could get ugly. Could get very ugly.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm going to take a couple of different routes here.
Yeah.
In the interest of not being completely chocolate.
Echo chamber. Yeah.
Even though I agree with you completely. See, to me, on the pitching side, it's Chad Green, because this guy pitches nearly every day. He is like the PB&J sandwich. All reliable, right? If he, God forbid, slips up, I mean, because relievers, you just never know. Like, he needs to be the constant. And on the hitting side and defensively, I'm going to say it's Gary Sanchez, because this guy needs to hit. He had an absolutely dreadful season. I don't like to use the 60-game season as one's barometer at all.
Yeah.
But it's beyond the stats with him. He looked absolutely listless and useless on both sides of the ball, swinging the bat and trying to catch the ball. To me, if he's able to hit and if his bat is able to come around and he's able to produce, I think that can only help his confidence as a catcher behind the plate so that he at least could be close to average defensively.
Yeah,
I think Sanchez is a good answer. I was thinking of going there as well.
Hey, we had options
because he does. He has things to. He has. Yeah, he has things to. Sanchez has a lot to prove. He's not making a ton of money this year, and it almost seems like Gary is getting to the almost prove it part of his career, where he needs to start playing better, more consistently if he wants to continue to be a foundational piece of this Yankees team.
Bro,
whether Yankees fans want to hear that or not.
Bro, he's already there.
Yeah.
This is it. He either needs to prove it, or if he doesn't, they need to shove it. And speaking of shoving things, I'm just going to come out and say this right now. If the Yankees don't make the ALCS, both Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone need to go. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because you look at the moves that Brian Cashman has made, they're not matching up with the way the game is being played today. And Aaron Boone is just not resonating with these players.
I'm writing that down right now, please.
I don't know if I can agree with you about that. I think Cashman has made some
damn thing to Girardi 4 years ago.
Yeah. No, I mean there is precedent. I just don't. I think Cashman has made some good moves. I mean, the Urshela deal was good. The Voit deal has paid off. I mean, Voit led the league in home runs last year.
Okay. You know what? Look, the Urshela deal, yeah, that was a diamond in the rough. The Voit deal, that's paid off well for both teams.
Shout out Cardinals.
But Brett, who else? LeMahieu, yes, okay, that was a damn good Groupon, and they needed to re-sign him. Absolutely, no question about it. But who else? In the past 5 years, name me someone who has really taken this team and made them next level, aside from the people that we've already mentioned.
Well, I thought that they didn't re-sign him, but I thought the Didi Gregorius signing was excellent.
Okay.
I mean, he's not on the team right now, but to come in and effectively replace Jeter, I think he did a good job defensively, offensively, heart and soul kind of guy. He was good. They didn't re-sign him. He had injury concerns, age concerns. Torres, his natural position was supposed to be shortstop, so there was reasons there.
Yeah,
I mean, they have a ton of money, so they signed Garrett Cole. So I can't give him a ton of credit for that one. You just threw the bag at him. But
okay, Giancarlo. Yeah, but it came down
to the Stanton trade was not smart.
It was dumb, and they traded Giancarlo Stanton and did that over re-signing Didi Gregorius. Who in their right mind does that as a general manager?
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
First of all, very happy that Stanton said no to the Cardinals. And I just want to say, too, just to throw this in there for you guys, and I think, Brett, just for both of you, to Blaze's point about if no ALCS, Boone and especially Cashman need to go, for everything good Cashman has done, you have one World Series in 12 years.
Yep.
You've been to one World Series in 12 years. So, I mean, it's the Yankees. How long will somebody have?
I think Cashman still has more leash than Yankee fans really want to admit.
That's fair. That's fair.
I personally don't think. I think if they don't make the ALCS, I don't think it's a case of Boone and Cashman need to go. I think it's time to start thinking about how you blow up this team and rebuild it. It's because at this point it would just be insanity to keep running out this team each and every year. But how they go about reconstructing it, I don't know, because they have a lot of money tied up in Stanton. No one's going to take on that contract. So even if someone traded for him, the Yankees would probably still have to eat a lot of that salary. You're going to be paying Cole a bunch of money. But other than that, you don't have a ton of guys making a lot of money on this team. I think you need to look at and explore ideas and how you approach building a team, because a bunch of right-handed home run hitters just doesn't seem to be working.
Okay, what's the definition of insanity?
It's doing the same
over and over
thing
again.
That's
and expecting a different result. Yeah,
that's why Boone and Cashman need to go, in my opinion.
Thank you, Blaze. That's kind of what I was getting at.
That's why they need to go. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Brett, at all. I'm just simply exclaiming the point by saying that these guys cannot continue to be the decision makers because if they are left to make the decisions, they're going to do the same gosh darn thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you let go of Cashman, he's probably going to sign a deal with another team within 48 hours.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
What I'm saying is, I don't think.
Who cares?
That I'm not saying I care about that. I'm saying I don't think he's a bad decision maker. I don't know if having Boone and Cashman walk away actually fixes anything with the Yankees.
This might be a pipe dream, and I don't know if the Steinbrenners would even consider it, but man, would a GM position on the Yankees probably entice a certain former GM of the Red Sox and the Cubs to maybe come back to being a GM. I don't know.
Theo Epstein?
I don't know.
I don't know if I could handle Theo. I don't know if I could.
I don't know if the Steinbrenners would, but if they would, they have the bag. I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Hal.
I love this. This is awesome.
Wait, it's Hal, right?
Yeah, Hal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which H brother was dead. I couldn't for a second.
That's fair.
Hal is not his dad.
True. Very true.
We have to remember that as Yankee fans.
Well, and okay, so I know, and I've loved it, and I think the people will love it and have loved it as well.
Well, I think we've got more now that I opened up that Pandora.
I know. It's like, I'm fine with talking to the Yankees. I love listening to you guys talk about them, to be honest with you. Like, two diehard fans.
What do you want to do?
Well, let me wait. Hold on. Let me. I just want to offer this because just to a little bit more conversation. Like you said, Blaze, how is not George? Would Cashman already have been gone if George was still alive?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Is if that is a fact, you have to think that's in the back of Hal's mind.
I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know.
Yes, that is ridiculous.
Okay.
In Steinbrenner's lifetime, all they did was win.
Well, not really. I mean,
not in the beginning. But.
No. It took 25 years for them to really have success.
Took him getting suspended and kicked out of baseball.
Well, I mean, there was all sorts of stuff there.
Yeah.
But Brett, to you're saying to PJ that it's not so much. You're not sure if that's so much fact. Why do you think that?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like Cashman wasn't around when George was around.
Right.
No, of course. I know that.
So,
but they won.
Look, I get that. I get that. To Yankee fans, winning the World Series is the only thing that matters, and maybe in George's eyes, that's the only winning that matters either. But it's not like this team has been bad. They haven't even been sub 500. They haven't had a non-winning season since the early 90s. They've won 203 games over, between, 2018 and 2019. They both those years they won over 100. Like, they've done a lot of winning. They just haven't won the World Series. So if you started piling up sub 500 seasons, yeah, Cashman would be gone, but that's not even the case. They're in the hunt every single year. It's just they haven't been able to win the big one. So they are winning. They're just not winning World Series.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
This though, we have to remember that there are 3 teams in all professional sports who are on one standard and everyone else is on the other. Those 3 teams are the New York Yankees, the New England Patriots, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That is the reality. Mm-hmm. Those 3 teams are on one standard that is higher than everyone else's.
Well, I take a little bit of an exception to that, but I'll let you continue.
What exception do you take?
The Cardinals. The Cardinals, as a fan of the Cardinals, they're if you're talking about winning championships is the only standard. The Cardinals' way is win champ. If it's not a championship, it's bust.
Yeah,
because there's another team who hasn't had a losing record in over 100 years.
I'm talking dynastically, though.
Oh, wait. You're gonna have to explain that because I still have exception.
Like in terms of a dynasty, okay. Lakers, you know what?
Oh. Okay.
I'll even put the Celtics.
The Warriors.
Well, I mean, to me, the Warriors are a dynasty.
But no, okay, I know what you're saying. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The only 3 franchises that have ever had "quote unquote" dynasties.
Well, I mean, yes. And I left off the Celtics, completely forgetting that
that's true.
Dynasty really was about 50 years ago.
Yeah, no, okay, I understand what you're saying now. You're not talking about the culture of the team. You're just saying the teams that have had dynasties in sports.
Well, I mean, and that leads to the culture, Brett, does it not?
Well, I mean, it does.
Yeah,
and the culture for the Cardinals
and the Jordan Bulls.
The Cardinals 04 to 06. I mean, that's 3 years, right?
That's not long enough.
What do you mean? What's long enough then? What is a dynasty? 3, 4 years? How many years do you need a dynasty?
A dynasty is at least 5.
5 straight championships or 5 straight years being in the championship?
5 straight years being in the championship.
Well, then I wouldn't even call the Lakers.
Is that a thing?
I wouldn't even call the Lakers a dynasty.
I guess
the only in the NBA that would mean to me that LeBron James is the dynasty.
Well, I mean, maybe even the Spurs.
Lakers had a lot of bad seasons too. I mean, they did win with Kobe and Shaq, but then there was some down period. Then Kobe and Powell. Then they were bad again.
Yankees had 4 and 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they lost in 03.
Right.
And 01.
Well, they lost in 01 too, but
01. Oh God. I mean, we can't. I mean, that was the only bad throw Mariano Rivera made in his life. I mean, let's be real. That throw.
I guess you're right. I still take exception because my Cardinals are.
Well, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't take exception to that. I
should.
Maybe, truthfully, the better example to use in the NBA is the San Antonio Spurs.
Yes.
When you really brass tacks it out.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that because of all the winning the Yankees have done in their franchise, and when you look at the last quarter century, there's been a lot of winning. So because of that, and the Patriots are held to this regard too in the NFL, there is a certain standard that they have set for themselves. And I think that, and look, I'm normally not one of those Yankee fans that says, fire the manager, fire the general manager. The Joe Torre firing made me cry because of how callously it was done. And the Joe Girardi one made no gosh darn sense to me. And I don't think this team has recovered since. And the only reason why Joe Girardi was fired is because this franchise has viewed Gary Sanchez as this pretty boy when his results as a defensive catcher have been ugly, as well perceived as his image has been.
Well, it's hard to say that the Yankees didn't recover when after Girardi left, they won 100 games in back-to-back seasons.
They had the team to do that, though.
Yeah, but so how much credit can you give Girardi if they won 100 games without him?
Look,
I mean, so my question is just how much worse can Boone really be? Like, that's why I take a little bit exception. Like, are Boone and Cashman the problem? I don't know. I guess the roster that Cashman has put together is a problem.
yes,
But I also think that he could blow it up and build it again. Like, I don't think you need to bring in someone else to rebuild like, I think Cashman is capable of rebuilding the roster, is what I'm saying. I would trust Cashman to blow it up and rebuild it without replacing him in the front office.
Okay, you have more faith in Cashman than I do. I'm saying that if Cashman goes, Boone has to go too, because if you get rid of the general manager, that clock by proxy starts ticking on the manager, because the GM is gonna invariably look for reasons to bring in their own person.
Bring in his own guy. Yep.
Yeah. We see that across all sports.
Right. So
not gonna argue with you on that one.
Right. Over the past 10 years, Brian Cashman has made enough decisions to at least warrant questions about his job security. While there have been a few good ones, the bad ones have been piling up. I mean, the bad one, not re-signing Didi Gregorius, the Jacoby Ellsbury contract. Let's not forget about that albatross. The Giancarlo Stanton deal is right near that albatross. I get it. The Stanton one is more money, but Stanton was actually, playing. And look at, we let Starling Castro go to the Marlins.
Yeah, but Castro wouldn't be on this team anymore, regardless if they had traded him for Giancarlo or not. Castro wouldn't be on this team.
Well, be that as it may.
Because I think you still would have wanted
the team composition,
who is the way better player.
No question about it that DJ LeMahieu's a better player than Starling Castro. But all I'm saying is we traded away pieces that would have made us more flexible to get better quality assets at the expense of a $325 million player who can't play the outfield, strikes out a gazillion times. I mean, look, Giancarlo Stanton epitomizes the Swinging Blindly show, right? Does he not?
Doesn't he also lead the Yankees in RBIs this year?
Big deal. 15 RBIs or 15 games.
Yeah, but still a leader in an important category.
Yeah, 15, bro.
I mean, it's not a great number. It's just
this bit of, I love talking Yankee baseball with you, Brett, over the past 45 minutes.
Yes.
But man, that is straw grasping, my friend. That is straw.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got to call you out on that.
Yeah, I just, yeah. I'm not saying the Stanton trade was good, but I mean, you basically traded a bucket of balls to get him. I mean, the contract is the worst part of the deal, obviously.
What's he been?
But
what's he been?
I'll look it up. His first year he played 150 games.
But they haven't won, Brett. That's the thing. Okay, this is.
I guess I'm just I guess
the
difference is I'm a Yankee fan that is not a boom or bust championship Yankee fan.
I'm not either, but I am at that point.
Not to mention that they possibly got robbed in 2017 by the cheating Astros.
Oh, there's no question about it that they got robbed by the disgrace by the Houston minivan Astros.
They still would have had to win the World Series, though. Just want that to be.
I'm not saying that they would have won it. I'm just saying at least you would have had an appearance.
Well, and then Altuve with the buzzer and Chapman. I mean, that whole deal. It just. All I'm saying is this, that I can't have these people making these decisions for my team much longer without the results being the same.
That's all. Insanity. to bring it back to the insanity definition. So, guys, again, this has been amazing, and I very much intend to bring Brett back on to talk more Yankee baseball and just baseball in general, because we're gonna table the Yankee talk for now, and we're gonna give me at least 1 minute of our time to talk about my Cardinals, and then we'll wrap up with some around the league talk, and we'll get you on your merry way. We hope you've enjoyed listening to, especially the Yankee talk, here on the Swinging Blindly podcast with PJ Blaze and joining us, Mr. Brett Monroe. I'll keep it short with my Cardinal talk. It's not at the pitching, the starting rotation. The starters for the Cardinals have the collective worst ERA in baseball. So that is something that I do not appreciate, and I am not happy, because the production out of Nolan Arenado has been great. He's fitting in just well, and he's hitting. So the people who thought the core's dynamic, get out of here. He's too
good of a player for that. We both
hitters hit.
Know that.
Shout out to Jim LeMahieu. Exactly.
Yes.
So that's fine. Yachty is looking like he found the fountain of youth and is tearing. He refuses to not play, and he's actually hitting. Goldie's like the 2-3 of Goldie and Arenado has been good. They've been struggling to find a cleanup hitter to protect both of them. So I feel like that'll happen. The outfield is having some issues defensively that I really want them to clean up. But the main issue is the bullpen has been excellent. The bullpen is one of the best in the majors, but the rotation gives up too many runs and isn't getting deep enough into the ball game. So that's the one thing I'm going to be looking at as a Cardinal fan. The offense is there. Do the bats quiet at times? Yeah, but it's a long season. So,
hey, Brett, I've got a theory for you.
Okay.
On this. What Jack Flaherty has been doing this year, which is just been absolutely abysmal to his standards.
Very true.
You think it has something to do with a little bit too much Bush, Mills, and Guinness?
Oh man. See, I didn't. If I had a soundboard in front of me, I would have been doing that the entire time for your guys' Yankee talk. And I talked to the Cardinals for 2 minutes, and Blaze gives me the business here.
This is
no, that's fine. Jordan Hicks, one of my best relief pitchers on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
Yeah, Hicks up.
Oh man, that was mean. You're being really mean.
I'm really sorry about that. I abused my technical privilege.
Yes, you did just a little bit. But you know what? There's a guest, so I'll allow it. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. I'm here for it, and not as bad as the Yankees. So bang, shot fired at you guys.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, it's numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. So guys,
just like chips.
Oh jeez! Oh my gosh! We have to get through Blaze's shenanigans here, but we will move on for a little bit of around the league. It was a special episode, as we said, boys and girls, because we had our good friend Brett Monroe come on and discuss, the Yankees with our resident Yankee man, the host, as well as myself, Mr. Blaze over here. So guys, again, early on in the season, but we've had two no-hitters.
Yes.
Joe Musgrove of the Padres, the first in franchise history, and then Carlos Rodon of the Chicago White Sox throwing one where he hit a batter with 2 outs in the 9th inning to blow it from a perfect game. But yeah, just they talked about deadening baseballs, which I think I did a little research the other day, and there is no evidence that the home run production is necessarily down. But I feel like I know it was a shorter season, but I feel like even in 2019, the amount of no-hitters was down. So pretty cool, I would say, just for baseball fans.
Well, yeah, no question about it. And then there's this, did either of you see this dopey thing that the Atlantic League is trying to do?
Oh, they're moving the mound back.
Yeah.
I did see that. I saw it the other day, actually. Yeah, that's it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they end up finding, and I appreciate them using stuff like that to kind of gain data, I guess, right? It's kind of their data mining, and to see how it affects it. I don't know. It would be tough for that rule to be implemented on the major league level unless there was like damning evidence to say that this would improve the game in any way, but I'm all for it. I'm all for using leagues like that to test out these new rules that, like it or love it, or like it or hate it, changes are coming, and that's just the way it is. All these sports.
Isn't the idea to try and lessen the amount of strikeouts, right?
Yes.
By moving the mound back?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to change anything.
Okay, so let's compromise.
Because baseball teams don't view striking out as a bad analytic anymore. It's about launch angle and all this other garbage, in my opinion. There's no more two-strike approach in baseball anymore. There's no shortening up the swing and trying to go the other way or hit it where the ball is pitched. I mean, that's why the strikeout numbers are through the roof. So, I mean, you move it back a foot. I guess if it lowers velocity, I guess by proxy there will be less strikeouts. But I think it's more about how hitters approach at bats than what pitchers are necessarily doing on the mound.
Why do we need to move a mound back? Why are the pitchers going to have to, albeit slightly, change their mechanics? Why are we having to move a mound back to lower strikeouts when that's the pitcher's job is to make you miss the ball? Why are we inhibiting the pitcher's ability to do their job instead of having hitting coaches, emphasis on the hitting coaches, re-emphasize the need for two-strike approaches, re-emphasize the need for hit and run, re-emphasize the need for sacrifice bunts, re-emphasize those basic fundamentals? I don't understand it.
I echo that sentiment myself on this side, Blaze. But
guys, what do you think?
No, I mean, I'm like I said, I kind of, I'm here for testing it out. It's
I'm fine with the tinkering.
It's not going to affect the major league level. I'm okay with data mining, and if they find it doesn't improve the quality of the game, or I imagine a lot of this. Maybe not a lot of it, but I imagine some of it has to do with the time of the game. If there is significant changes in either of those, I'm just here for. It's not going to hurt any of us. So, good for them. Good for them for at least trying it out. But I do agree, though. I wish so much, especially as a National League Baseball fan, that they emphasize the small ball more, because baseball is just funner when small ball is emphasized. But that being said, boys, we'll wrap up real quick with just first 2 weeks surprises. Just give me one takeaway that doesn't have anything to do with your own team to send us to wrap this episode up of Swinging Blindly Podcast, where you can find us anywhere you get podcasts, Swinging Blindly Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Swinging Blindly, Facebook at Swinging Blindly Podcast. What say you guys about the first 2 weeks of the season? Brett, why don't you start?
Yeah, I think the biggest early surprise to me, not my team, but Yankees' biggest rival, I think the Red Sox, to me, are the biggest surprise. Alex Cora back as manager. They start the season getting swept by the Orioles, and then they go on a 9-game win streak. So if people were looking at the Red Sox as sort of basement dwellers in the AL East, if that turns out to not be the case, that's a huge surprise.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's really incredible what they've done. I mean, look, we've seen teams that have gone off on these really torrent starts, and then come post Memorial Day, they crash and they come back down to reality. Mm-hmm. The slow start by Oakland was a little bit of a surprise, but look at what they're doing. I'm going to have to say that the Cincinnati Reds are a positive surprise as well. I knew they were going to do maybe better than what people were predicting, but man, they're off to a good start too. They have some of the best offensive numbers in the major leagues. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're leading in batting average. They're up there in runs scored. They are looking really good right now, and a team that I think can keep it up in what is going to be a relatively tough National League Central, aside, from the fact that you do have the Brewers and, of course, PJ's beloved St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes, sir. No, I'm glad that neither one of you picked the what I had. So it might be the quote unquote chalk of the matter, but we knew they were going to be good. I don't know if anybody thought that the Dodgers were going to be this good out of the gate. 12-2. They're already 2 on there in the first series of the Padres. Already took 2 of the first 3. I mean, and again, granted, they've been very, very entertaining games. I mean, great for baseball for sure. But, I mean, it's the hottest start they've had since they won the World Series in 1955. They are 12-2, I believe, as we're recording this. Just incredible. They are by far the best team in baseball. I think it was already the consensus. It was the consensus. Let's be real.
It absolutely was.
It absolutely was. But the surprise to me is just how they're close to being undefeated to start the season. I mean, if you think about it that way, just as I said earlier, I don't know if we'll see a 20 game win streak. This is a team that could do that. So
there's no question about it.
Yeah, I think they came out with a goal this year to defend their title, to prove anybody wrong that, you know, they were the deserving champions after a 60-game season. I think they're coming out this year trying, you know, with a chip on their shoulder that they're like, hey, we were, despite the amount of games played last year, we were legitimately the best team in baseball.
No doubt about it. All right, we've got 30 seconds. It's time to wrap up. Brett, it's been a lot of fun having you on the show. I apologize if I got really into it and grilled you a little hard at times. I hope you forgive me.
No, man, I live for it. I live for it. We're good.
We'd love to have you back on again at some point for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
love to be back.
Yeah, and PJ, great job moderating the two of us here.
Thank you.
Keeping us in line in the bases, you know, not that stupid rule of, you know, we didn't step out of the base path and any of that stuff. To find us wherever you get your podcasts, we're all over the place: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, TuneIn, Pandora now too. So wherever you get your podcasts, and Facebook.com/swingingblindlypodcast, and on Twitter @swingingblindly. And if we miss, do we care or not, guys?
Who gives a crap?
That's right. Until peace, love, and baseball.